Hi everyone, it's K-Red, and welcome back to part 3 of this Zentangle inspired art project, where each video we're getting closer and closer to our end product. This video took me well over 4 hours, but we're going to break it up into individual videos and walk through it step by step. I really enjoyed this drawing, and I really enjoyed the challenges that it gave me. We're going to go ahead and jump right in where we left off after part 2. So if you've missed part 1 and 2, just check into the comments area and you will see links to get you right there. Have fun. Let's get started. So let's go back in, see about some inspiration from here. Maybe I'll pop online. I was looking at this one earlier. I thought this looked really neat. Just not sure how camber would fit into this paper. Obviously, we could do some of these wriggles. They are just the cutest little alien friends. But I think it might be a little too close. I think I did these on my last pattern. Oh, that's gorgeous. I do love this. But I'm not looking for a string so much. But I could do it just down this right side. So if I went back to my pencil, if we notice step 1 was to start at the bottom and we did lines like this, that's what we did for step 1. So then what I would do is I would do a line like this. Now I'm going to do my normal cheat once I've done one, and I'm going to say it is about, it's the same, it's about the inch. So then I'm going to, yep. So then I'm going to go back, and if I remember right from my pattern, I want to close that off. So then we'll go at this angle. We'll say, I'd say probably right about there. And once again, I am not looking for exact. I'm just looking not to be too crazy off. Where I have one like 2 inches and one like 1 inch, you know, that's what I'm using the ruler for. And then what we did on this one is, I believe we closed it off that way. Yep, that's how we closed them off. So then what I would do is from here, I would just do these petals down. And then from here, I would do the petals down. They're a little long. I probably should have made those lines a little bit shorter. The longer lines are the harder for me to do it. But that's fun. I think it's a little too straight, but I think it'll be okay. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of this jagged lines. It's a little more of a straight line, but I think once it gets the shapes on there, it'll look like it turns more. So that's kind of fun there. I think we can do that. And then I'm almost wondering that what if, so this is where we ended here. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to just do that. Let me see if I can make these a little bit more jagged. That's not much of a loop, solid loop. And then we made it so that they kind of come off each other. And then these would go down like this. And they would go up like this. And then they would come and meet in the middle. It's kind of fun. I have no idea what would come over here. But what I'm thinking what if we took this and we turned it into a circle? And then we could come off of that, and then it would just play into that. So let's see if we can make that happen. So let's go back to our big 10 pin. I didn't want to make the circle too big because we're going to have to play off of what is already there. And then we know we're going to continue the line like this. And then now we've got 3 of those. And we could even add a nice big one on the base here, to the base. That we could do something with that circle. My goodness, I'm going circle crazy, people. And another one here. Oh, those are kind of uniform. See, even when I try to be random, I usually tend to still go a little off that way. And we'll do one more right over here in this corner. And then we'll see what we'll put up there. I don't know what that'll be. This is going to be that. These are going to be individual mandalas that I will do separately and uniquely different. I still need to decide what to do, to leave these white or decide what to do with the centers of these. I need to decide how I want to decorate or embellish those. And the same thing here. How do I want to embellish that? And then this gives me a lot of area that's still open. So I can make a lot of decisions still on one more circle. Just one more. I love mandalas. One more circle. And we'll just have some fun with those circles. And then we'll just fill in around it. What do you think? All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and finish drawing these. Oh, I forgot what they're called that fast. They're called Organic by Sanika Ray. Sanika Ray, I believe that's how you say it. So I'm going to finish these organics, kind of stemming off of one and stemming down. And then we'll decide what goes, if anything, in the background. We have our flowers here. We can still decide what we want to do inside there for here. And yeah, lots of fun. So I'm going to do the organic. I'm going to let it all dry well. I'm going to erase these lines because they're distracting me all over. And we'll come back and I'll hear you after some music, a little bit of fast forwarding through some of that cleanup, and we'll see where we go next. Alrighty, that's not perfect, but I think it is close enough for us to continue on drawing and seeing where we go. So for me, what I am seeing the most is how much I enjoy this flower string and how it looks like it comes off of this. I really like that. So I wonder, hopefully I won't be ruining it, but what I think I'd like to do, and just so you know, the way I usually do my art is just by whatever comes to mind at the moment, whatever I see and think. Now, I do know this is not the way the official Tangle works, but because I want this to look more like a stem, more like it's a flower growing, and then these flowers are part of the stem, I'm adding a double line to this. And hoping very much that it doesn't ruin it. And I don't think it does. I think it does help add some weight to that. So I think that is gorgeous. So let's fill in some of these circles. What do you think? Let's have some fun. So I'm going to grab myself a ruler because I like to use rulers. I'm going to grab myself a circle tool so I can just have some easy markings. I'm going to make sure I have a pencil handy. And let's see where we go. So we'll start with this one right here. Actually, we're not going to start right there. Right now, we're going to do a big solid in the middle because that is really making me crazy that there's not one. Okay, so let's go back to this. And the reason I'm going back to the circles, this size is a 7/8. And when I put this back on there, I am able to find my even sides without any problem or issue. So I like to do it that way. Now I could do some lines, and I'm sure I will on some of these at some point before. But I think on this one, let's do this. Let's do little circles all the way around. So that rather than a straight line, we have a nice little swoop. Let's give that an aura. And then let's give the middle a nice substantial swirl. And then around the edge, let's do this. Let's say what we think our middle will be and put our largest one there. And then let's descend down as we go. So about the middle, our largest little swoop, only descend down. So how's everybody doing? I hope you've been doing well. We have been definitely in the summer mode where I live, so it has been super warm. As I mentioned, work's been a little busy and crazy, so we have that. We have family birthdays. We have all kinds of stuff going on. So life has been just a little bit hectic. So I'm really excited to have some time today to sit and enjoy. So what do you think? I think it's kind of an interesting little circle. I wonder if I'm good enough to go in here and do an aura around that outside. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, and I have good reason to believe it's not going to work, I'll color in and darken the whole outside. But hopefully my head won't be in the way of the camera. But I'm going to get as close as I can to see. And we're going to do a little auras. You're screaming at me, don't do it. I'm screaming at me that I shouldn't have done it. But let's see where we go. Sometimes if you don't ever try something crazy, you will never know what your new favorite thing is. Now I picked an 05 pin, which doesn't seem to be in the best shape. But I guess it's okay. It's not my favorite thing I've ever done, but I think it'll be all right. I'll do my normal way I like to cover up, and let's just do a nice circle on the ends. I do always love that. Some definitive points, nice definitive point in the middle. And yeah, let's go with that one for that. So now that we've done that, let's do a more of a botanical flower kind of thing. So I'm going to come back to here. Now this looks like a smaller circle to me. It is. This is, oh, maybe it's not. It looks like a 7/8 again. Looked a little smaller, but I don't think it is. And we're going to go ahead and add in our lines. I'm going to grab my ruler and connect them so that I can have a good idea of where my base middle is. Just like that. I'm going to come back to you and my middle. I'm using an 05 pen. With my 05 pen, I'm going to give myself a nice solid center. Just like that. Not exactly the middle, but close enough for me. And then I'm going to stick with my 05 pen. I'm going to do my first petal. Alrighty, and now that I have that petal in, let's do another petal. Same way right here. That should be nice. I like it. Okay, so we have a nice little flower. So then what we can do is little arch lines relatively close together behind it. And I like doing this. I've done this on a few different things because it makes it look like there's motion behind it. I like that. And the trick to helping me make it look a little bit better is to try not to do too much of a tight arc, but a longer line. And I'll hope that our eyes kind of fill in any mistake or connect the lines where maybe they don't exactly. So then we can just add a nice little swirl in the middle. That's why I love these little circles so much. I've done whole pages of just circles like this because they're just so fun and easy to add in. This pin is just about done. To add in whatever you would like, making each one different, each one unique. And sometimes you get to a point where it's kind of hard to think what to do in them next that you haven't done, but always come up with something like I've never done that before. Alrighty, so I did just realize that I didn't finish these by coloring them in. I feel like I'm moving a little quickly, like my brain is not quite slowing down to think. So before I go and do another one, let's color these in and see if it gives me a moment of kind of getting into the zen, since I'm just sitting down to draw today. Sometimes when I first sit down, it can take a minute to getting calmed down, getting my breathing a little bit under control, getting the creative juices flowing. One of these days, I'm going to have to do this where every other one I color a different color. I wonder how that would look. I don't think I want that much color on today's. I do think it's an interesting thought. I'm sitting here thinking about how I would shade these. I'm guessing I would put shade where one goes into the other. That would make complete sense. Also nice to have that balance of black and white on the paper. I do love to have a lot of big bold and yet have plenty of spaces with light in there. And I am a work in progress in getting that balance right, but the ones that I like the best of my work definitely have some nice big bold areas like these dots or that sand swirl, even the or it always looks to me like those sunglasses of them having those black sections are always beautiful. this line be so nice and pronounced. Get that one off while we're looking at it. There we go. Sometimes you just have to fix things when you see them, because you may not see them again. And then you'll be looking at your paper going, it looks a little off. I'm not sure why. And sometimes it's just those little smooths out, those little things that get missed. Okay, there's those. Now I do have a thought. I don't know that I will do it, but I do have a thought of adding one more kind of thread in the needle with it. But I'm not sure that would look right. So we're definitely not doing that yet. But that would be interesting. You know what else would be interesting is to do something like a 3-loop 6 right along here on the inside. It would take up some of that space. For those of you who have been following me with Peaceful Patterns, you know that this 3-loop 6 has become one of my favorite borders that there are. So I'm trying to decide, do I go ahead and do that, or do I continue working on my circles? Let's continue working on my circles. Let's not get ahead of myself. Who knows? Oh, sorry, knocked over my pencil. Who knows what I will see in the future. So then this one is a bigger circle. This one is an 8x8 circle. So we're going to go ahead and go back to that pencil I tried to knock over. Mark our lines. And this time, let's see how we could do finding the spot in the middle of them. Giving myself even more lines like that. Make them a little more pronounced so I can see them, see if they look right. I think they kind of do. Let's grab my PN pen. I think that 5 is a little off for me. And I think I'd like this one says PN. And on this one, let's do some circles, half circles, all the way around the outside. These lines aren't exact because I didn't really measure them, but I think they're going to be close enough. So now we need to find our center, and I only need 2 lines to do that. So that's going to put our center right about there. And we're going to put just a little dot there. I think these 2 are far enough away. I was going to do these same stems again, but I think instead what I will do is my favorite little S. And what that will make is these great little triangle shapes, little wedges. Looks like there's somebody at my front door. Okay. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we are playing on this one here, and I do like the way that is. I'm thinking, since we only touch right here, of making these backgrounds completely black. So before I'll do that, because what I like to do before my goal is probably going to be to make them completely black. But I could do, looks like 3 will fit, auras, and we can see how that'll look. If we like it, great, we did something different. If we don't, no problem, I was going to color it in anyway. Kind of blends in with that sand swirl, doesn't it? Only 2 fit in that one. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to want something in here, and I think what I'm going to do are dots. Once again, I think that's something that helps show the movement. I need to remind myself to take time and make them circle dots, not dashes. It takes just a second longer to turn the pen. You guys will have to tell me at the end which circle is your favorite. What you would have done in one. Interesting, right? All right, everyone. With the end of that mandala, I think we're going to go ahead and bring this video to an end for today. This will bring us to the end of part 3. We're about halfway through this project, and it is gloriously fun. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss part 4 when it comes out in just a couple of days. As always, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.